Good evening, friends, family, everybody. Welcome back to the playtest here at AUZOM.gg. It's going to be a fun afternoon. You have to forgive my lack of beautiful attire. I know you love seeing me in a tie. However, due to some scheduling conflicts, I had to rush home to get on today and haven't had a chance to put on my suit and tie for you guys to really feel like you're getting the full experience. So for now, you get a t-shirt, but perhaps maybe I could, as we sort of get this thing going, reach over and try to make it look better. Try to make us look legit as we do it, huh? Like we're gonna slide this on. We're gonna have a pretty good game for you guys today. This is playtest 8. If those of you who maybe be new to the community or aren't familiar with what AUZOM is, we are a tournament platform. We do a amateur tournament, 2 of them actually, every single Sunday. It looks like we might be talking about getting a North American one going, so if you are interested, tweet at AUZOM and say, yo, I want a North American bracket, please. And we are going to bring you a great outfit for sort of not only hopefully amateurs, but we did a showcase with some big tournaments a couple of weeks ago, our big teams. And our goal is really to provide a place where players can play competitive PUBG and watch it being done. Let's get this game going. Come on. So if you do like the sound of any of that, you can head over to AUZOM.gg. That's AUZOM. Or tweet them at AUZOMTV. I think it's AUZOMGG over on Twitter. And you can totally see what exactly we are doing in terms of the PUBG scene. And let's be honest, we'd love to have your support. So if you enjoy the tournament and you want to play in it, you can sign up on a weekly basis by going to the website and getting your team listed. There's no big prizes. The scoring is pretty interesting. We play 3 rounds. The first place gets 35 points, and it sort of goes down by 5 from there. And then you get a point for every kill. So we do 3 rounds, one after another, and the highest score at the end of 3 becomes our champion for the day. Pretty straightforward stuff. It's a good chance to learn the process, get the camera under control, and kind of get our head around this new amazing game that we all seem to love so gosh darn much. That said, we are settling in for a pretty good match here today. We got a couple of teams joining us. It looks like Bad Luck Hamsters, Bonjour, True Gaming, Nest, Beast Mode, Made on the Internet, Esquina El Patine, Why Not Esports, AUA. Hold on a second. Let's get out of the fire zone. It's very loud. GIGN, Soup and Pooch, Hexagon Esports, Slice and Dice, Magus GG, Hell's Kitchen, Feather Online Gaming, Womax Angels, Tropicus, Dad's Army, and finally, Operation Pandora Trigger are going to be the teams that are joining us today as we get this thing going. Now, 36 seconds to start. We'll take a look at the map below so you can see a couple of things that'll help you out in our observation throughout the match today. That is, look at all those colors. You can sort of differentiate teams. They've given us some nice colored boxes. They're actually more pronounced than they used to be, so a nice change that it looks like PUBG's tossed in. They didn't tell me about it, but I'm pretty hyped about it. And then obviously, periodically, we'll turn on the X-ray, those little yellow outlines, so you can sort of see what's going on in the fights. But hey, any feedback you want to give us, if you want to toss it in to the chat or things of that nature, hey, I definitely want to hear it because it's going to only help us make the game that much better. So let's switch over to the spectator cam so that you guys can see exactly what's going to be going on here as the action sets up. So the island is now empty, and that means we have gone to plane. Let's see where the plane is. It's going to be a plane coming in over Milta Power right across the bottom of the island. Not an optimal plane. Puts a lot of stress on places like Lipovka. Now, if you're not familiar with Lipo, here's a little video to tell you about what it is. Lipovka is a town on the far side of the map. It's a no man's land if you can't find a car, but it's a good place to guarantee that you can get some loot. Besides the cafe and the 3 warehouse structures, as well as 1 road splitting the town in essentially 2, it means that you're going to encounter 1, maybe 2 teams top, and both of those teams are going to have to fight it out for control of Lipovka. Now we join Mo Ukal 42 as he lands in Lipovka, just as we pointed out. He is going to find it. Not only will he land, but he's going to land with no one else around him. So he's going to be very happy about this, as will his entire team, as they'll have Lipovka all to themselves. Meanwhile, we look at the jumps here towards military, and as we sort of take a look around, you're going to see that there are a lot of folks coming down here. We've got 3 different squads interested in making military their base of operations, no pun intended. Out here's another interesting drop. We've got 1 going to Primo, 2 teams doing coastal split, and a double push going out towards Georgia Pool. So this coast is going to be pretty interesting. Up here, we also have a large Yaz contingent and the old Razak split. Now, this looks bigger than it is. What we'll see here is 1 group will go to apartments, 1 group will go to school, 1 group will go to Razak, and 1 group will go to exterior houses. This group is an interesting one. We're going to jump to here because it looks like they might have conflict right out of the gate. No, we find a car and they decide not to take the fight. They get out as the other guys go ahead and find themselves going for the same car ineffectually. So they'll just watch as their opponents drive away. Unfortunate for around the raid. Let's pan back out, see what's happening down here. This is going to be our military base. So we're going to pan out and sort of take a top look down at the drop patterns right now. You've got purple, Larry, Ludigus, and Fluffins are all here inside of the racks. They almost, oh, it's a run over. Mimi Ment has found Ananakami and no one's been able to help him, so he will just finish the job with the car, and that will immediately reduce Larry and Fluffins and his team down to 3. Now, the problem is they responded to try and get the rescue, which now it's Mimi can tell his team, even though they're the opposite side of the map, exactly where his opponents are. Hey, guys, they came flooding out of the barracks when I ran one of them over. That's where they're hanging out. So that is going to be a little bit of trouble for Larry and Fluffins. The other side, though, for Purple to worry about, is this. A gun fast by Lud. Let's take a quick look at him because his aim was pretty fire right now. That was with a metal sight. He was able to knock Fluff down. Fluff's backup is over here, not available. Now, he did take some fire, so he knows that that's where they're hanging out. He's going to keep an eye on YNK, and it looks like he may try to just back up and not take this fight, but there's no one to rescue him, so Flux will almost certainly die unless Neville or Yunk is willing to make a really strong run after him. I don't see that happening, so that's going to be 2 down to start. They get a little bit of revenge on the team that just killed them. So Larry is at 3. Flux and his team are now at 3, unless Flux can crawl to safety, but it doesn't look like any of his teammates have any interest in helping him whatsoever. Many could actually get there relatively safely, but he's just going to commit to looting. Interesting choice there to just let Flux die. He's crawling on his own. I can hear the conversation right now in my head of him going, guys, I don't want to die alone. I want somebody to be with me. Meanwhile, let's go take a look at these gentlemen here who are inside of Factory, getting a pretty good amount of loot. Now, the problem with Factory is you get ATC and you get Factory, but your positioning leaves you in a very tough spot because all you're going to walk out with, on average, is 2, if you're lucky, ARs and 2 submachine guns. Right now, they've got 1 AR, 2 subs, and a shotgun, and they're looking at the prospect of pushing into 2 different teams. Now, that is a tall order. Slack has died. Minimet has entire side of the map to loot to himself. Oliver and Yook are caught in a really tough position here because they can't go back and they can't go forward. They're taking fire. It looks like Neville is shooting, but that's going to reveal his position to the Brown team that is now just now coming out of the factory. So we'll pan up because I want to see sort of how Brown sees these guys. They're peeking around. They know they heard the shots. Neville has no idea. As far as they're concerned, their only threat is getting away from factory. But that's going to allow Demorian, who seems to have pole position here. He's taking shots, so they now have seen them. Demorian runs for cover. Neville is just lighting him up right now, and he will manage to get into the house, taking no actual damage, but knowing, okay, well, our opponents know where we are. Neville and Yunk have to back away. Yunk only with a pistol right now, and Ludigus sees Neville, takes a couple of shots at him. He's been playing Overwatch this entire time. He went down, he grabbed a little bit of gear to put with that AR that we saw, but I think he's still going Iron Sight. Not great start for him here at the military base. Now, they did get lucky. The circle's not terrible, but it's not wonderful. So they do have to get out of here relatively soon. Larry D has sights. Whoa. He picked up an 8X, which is going to allow him to just put in some work right now. SKS 8X on the roof. Neville pinned behind a stairwell. And just sort of a prayer. There's not much he can do. That 8X is going to have him completely pinned. Now, Oliver doesn't know that it's an 8X, but he has to act accordingly. Now, the problem that we also run into is Duran and the rest of the crew look like they are panning around the outside. So we're going to go up high here so we can see that wraparound that we're getting from Devu. Injustice running ahead here. Demorian as well. It looks like they have no interest in being involved in these fights. So they're going to run out the back door, leaving Neville to fight on his own. Minimal's trying to come in from behind maybe to get a little bit of push here. Crawling in. There we go. So he's trying to get in from behind. He knows where Larry is because of the cover, and that's why he's just sitting behind the stairs. His partner is trying to keep Larry distracted. That's his goal here, is he really wants to keep it so that Larry doesn't know that he's coming. Larry has no idea. He's watching in the wrong direction, which means technically Mini might be able to get the shot off here if he's willing to put out the peek. Much relies on Minimint. If Minimint cannot land this wraparound and get a kill, it means that that will be the end of the game, essentially, for this purple team. Larry is very exposed. There we go. Mini's out. If he goes up the stairs, he will see him at the top. Moving a little bit loudly. This could be trouble. Still no movement from the other side. He's going to find him. He'll see him now. Opens fire and knocks Larry out immediately. But there is somebody on his right. Remember, he's got a bad guy on the opposite side. Ludigus now knows exactly where he is, but he was down on the first floor, so he's not going to be in a position to shoot him, Mini. Meanwhile, Yunk and Fluffins. Fluffins made a push. He wants Yunk. He's going in. All he's got is metal sights. He thought he had Overwatch, but the Overwatch fell apart. His buddy got shot down. He had nowhere to go. Now Yunk knocks him out with a little bit of help from Neville. Neville does go down. Yunk's going to come forward for the res. There's not much they can do to stop him. Ludigus is the last man standing. He's desperately in a fight with Minimint, but he's going to get wrapped around on from behind here if he doesn't get out. So he decides he's going to try to push and go for the res, get behind on Yunk and Neville, but I don't know if it's going to be fast enough or nearly enough, as he's going to come through the factory and try to get position. Fluffin's calling things out for him, so he will now exit the doors. Let's see if he sees it fast enough. He knows where Yunk is. He takes the shots. Yunk will go for fire, but Neville on the right, too much damage, takes him out, and that is the end of their team. Let's go elsewhere. Let's check in real quick so we can see them licking their wounds, essentially, as our military-based team now is comfortable. Purple lost one man, but ultimately won the battle. They'll have some free loot, but they have to get away from that circle. Their opponents in brown headed out and are doing a comfortable job just sort of looting their way back to the mainland in the opposite direction. Let's pan out and take a look at what else we've got going on. Primo, all by itself. We got some spread outs on some crate drops here on the map. It looks like we had nothing going on at Milta, a one-team loot grouping there. School has been abandoned. Looks like Exorbic and his group got 4 out and will be leaving. Rozok uncontested right now. Big circle. Whoa, let's jump up to some action going on here at Georgiapol. Swin and Kruken all going to be hiding out in this complex, looking towards the hospital complex. So basically, purple has found pink. It looks like no one has a distinct advantage just yet. So we'll turn the x-rays on. We will see if we can't... What's that? Battle list. That's cool. I don't know what that does. It's fun discovering new things. We go inside. Everybody's taking shots, but there's still not a lot of great weapons. In fact, I mean, we've got Cheney here has been in this fight, and all he's got is a revolver. Swayton, Nahoe, RXY, and Kruken sitting on a couple of submachine guns. They only have 2 ARs, so they're also a little bit hurt for ammo and whatnot here, but they've got to be careful. Now, the problem that Purple's running into, as they are surrounded, they've got teams on every side. Up on top, we've got Team White with Sevitz, who we know is a good player. His team, very well known, are doing a good job of holding hospitals so they can shoot down into complex. Griffondor and his crew holding farhouses can lock in from the other side, so Purple cannot go anywhere. It looks like Pink has decided to extract themselves from the fight. They will load into cars and make some weird driving techniques here. And they are going to make a very dangerous run. So we're going to follow them to see if they actually pull this off. They make a pass. Immediately they start taking damage. Drive between the cars. Ryo taking the long way around. They're going to split up for some reason. Sweeten goes back to cover. Ryo draws fire away. Sweeten taking a lot of damage. And he goes back to complex. But now they are split 2 and 2. Ryko is going to go towards hospital. Fortunately for him, hospital was just abandoned by Team White. And they'll be able to make a wraparound and get out of this. Purple will continue to fire, but not going to get anybody just yet, as all they're working with is a couple of small weapons here. Now, they do have to worry about turquoise in the offing, but for now, it seems like they will be able to get out of this in one piece. North Georgiapol, popular looting area. Now this whole coast is white. It is inside the circle. The problem for a lot of these players is this coast doesn't have a ton of cover. Quarry, a great location. Here we'll see Complex. There's a couple of good cover spots around Quarry here and here that I think we might see teams start to migrate to. But right now, everyone's just trying to get themselves to those positions. Now here's a watch on a brand new airdrop. This airdrop came into the trees from here. We don't see anybody going for it just yet. It looks like green is considering it. Config is out. What kind of scope is he using? He's got an 8X on a car. That is a very happy man right now. And so he did a job of watching the care package. No one has claimed it. Presumably, they will maintain eyes on and loot it on their next push. The smoke has ended, so it's no longer being advertised. They don't know it, but we know that there are no teams anywhere nearby. So there's a very good... Injustice coming in. Cart shot right off the car by Config. And he's going to continue to just start to put some work in. He's looking for the man that he shot. He wants to get the finish kill here. Finish as in finishing the game, not finish as in the nationality, of course. He doesn't want to allow the blue to kill him, so he's going to push out to Cart. He wants the loot, finds the shot, and will finish the job. Remember, it's 1 point for a kill. So that's a point that they get because they didn't allow him to die to blue. Why is it in first person? Very strange. So they'll go in, they'll do some looting. They choose to do this instead of going for the box. Meanwhile, it looks like Brown has decided to go for the box. So they found it. They're hitting it very quickly, and looks like they may want to snipe down. I'm not sure what they've pulled in. It looks like an M24. So, M249, I believe it is. He's going to load that up. He's got a lot of spray cover, and it looks like they're looking for revenge. So he's going to find a position, knowing they're probably going to climb in a car and drive out if they're willing to wait into the blue this long. Demorian is headed to his position right now. He knows what they're going to be planning. They don't have a car. They're just going to have to hard run it, but they've got Config out in front. The question is, does Config know that they are there? I'm watching him. He does not seem to know, and that could be his undoing. So here comes the M24. Lots of fire coming out. How did that even happen? Let's go back to that fight. Here in the trees, as both teams light up, doing everything they can. Demorian actually takes damage on a nice flick shot. And he's going to go down behind the tree and hide out. Config and Bukas, who's doing an iron sight, play here with the Car 98, is willing to take the fight. They're inside the blue line, so they don't have to worry. Config is the one who really wants to get these kills. He's just going to open fire, and it looks like Brown has decided to just leave Demorian to the fates. Brown team seems to have a policy as if you go down, you are done. They're going to say some parting shots just because. Not quite going to catch him. More lead required, Config. That said, though, they get to push up, get a little bit more loot, and that is the man who was carrying the M249. So essentially, they get to loot the M2, even though they were not the ones to go ahead and take it. Was he playing in first person? That's so weird. So Luka's going to go for the loot, see if he decides to take it. Lots of grabby grab hands. And they still are running with a full 4 stack and doing pretty well. 2 kills to their name right now. So while they do their looting and start to move towards the inland, let's take a look at the big map and see where everyone is. So far, it seems like the map is enclosing on Gatka proper, or potentially the swamplands. We'll see in the next circle, as it will be closing here relatively soon. iBlack looks like they're in a little bit of trouble. Let's pan out and see what kind of fight's going on here. We've got green has pushed in to white. White very outnumbered right now. I don't know if he's got a backup plan. Where's the rest of his team, iBlack? Shottens and Sevens. I see now. They're off without him. So these guys are up, they're up on the high ground. Shevens and Shotsens. So Sevens was, iBlack was going for the wraparound here on the house. He gets picked off. Sevens is going to now make a push. Sevens a pretty good player in his own right, so I expect him to at least try to make a move here to get his guy up. He knows that if he can get behind the ticket booth, he can potentially get him. But immediately Asimodi is on the cover. Look at the lean. Popping in and out. There's the grenade. They're getting ready to toss it out. iBlack has about 3 seconds left, so now's the push. He's going to go for it, but he is very exposed. He's going for the res, so he does stop the count timer. Modal not going to be able to push out. They're scared of exposing themselves. There's the nade, though, and Sevens is knocked down. Beautifully cooked by Modai. Shotten's now watching his friends from afar, wondering, well, what do I do? This is the conversation right now. Do I go deeper, or do I try to avenge you? Because remember, there's points. More points for finishing farther in, and 66 is not going to get you a great place. So if he pushes and dies here, it sets them back for the entire match, or you simply withdraw. Looks like Ezek wants to come out. They definitely want the loot. Shotten's not interested in leaving, it looks like. Oh, there he goes. He does go out the back, decides to use that. Uh-oh, he's got Cavalier Panda. Chevalier Panda. Thinking about if there's an exit strategy here. Doesn't want to get caught. Chevalier is now exposed. No gun out. Ooh, that'll be the end of him. He's exposed. They know exactly where he is. They've got the nades to make it happen. This could very well be his end. And he doesn't even need to come out. Zequins finishes him off from the windows while Chevalier hides. And that will be the end of 7th squad in this match. All right, let's pop back out and take a look at the map. A lot of teams alive. 64 as the circle continues to get smaller. A little bit of a throwdown with Griffondor and his crew. Let's jump up here and see what's going on outside in these houses. X-ray vision is on for you guys to watch. Green going up against blue. Green down to 2 men and just holding tight while Fadank and his crew hide behind the trees and wait for their chance to get a pick. Landoff crawling around prone. Metadrag as well. They're all inside of the white zone, so they can sort of wait this one out. Boo's very exposed here, but again, Land and Meta aren't even trying to peek at the moment. They're letting them just sort of do their thing. Now, I don't know if maybe they don't know that they're there. No, they do. They're trying to set interior traps instead of push traps. Uh-oh. Meta could be in some trouble. Looks like they want to come out, but Boo's has position if they do. He's downhill. He's got to push up right now. He'll see them. No push. This could be devastating. He's now going to be exposed on his flank as these guys make their run. Now, there he goes. He finally sees them. He knows exactly where they are. The chase is on. They see him. Here's aim. Aim it up, baby. Nothing but a hollow. That's all you need. Down goes 1. Down goes 2. They finish the job. And that's an example of what we call a rada frickin'cation. Nice plays by purple team. Boo's 80 on the attempted flank that just ended up handing him the kill. Walking around. There's some car driving by around the raid. Looks like they might be in trouble. This is going to be a quarry into swamp finish, which means some very powerful locations on the map tentatively. If you talk about where you want to hide. Let's go high and take a look at the area. This is Gatka proper, where we're going to see the final match. You can see the teams panning out as they go, sort of fanning out across this thing. There'll be some conflict points, but great cover here above the swamp. This will be a popular area to hide, as well as over there by the crater. Nobody panning in yet. Let's join this fight as it looks to have a little bit of action. Purple deciding not to be interested. Lots of cars driving around, trying to find their position. Here we go into brown versus blue in a bit of a sniper fight. The VSS going to be nice as these circles get smaller, but very difficult to get those kills at range. Now, blue in a tough spot because they are exposed to other teams collapsing in, so they want to try to get themselves to cover. They also have to stop the Jeep from driving away into a point where they could be seen. The VSS is watching, but doesn't have any sort of Overwatch vision right now. So they may just cut their losses and get the heck out of Dodge. Yellow coming in as well, along with green, light green. And they will just drive away and leave pink to hold their house. Couple of shots, nicely done. They do put a few bits of damage. Asmodai gets a knockdown somewhere else. Okay, let's go check out, see where the fights are breaking out now. Ah, the old swamp fight. Green fighting uphill into pink. Pink with some really good Overwatch potential. Kenturok, with that machine gun, is down. Crawling to his friends. The reses have begun. Not much they can do to stop Ace. So let's go check in with Dice, who's got a 4X and a silencer SKS. He's just going to start to light some people up. That is so hard to deal with. The SKS so ridiculously quiet when you're using it with the silencer. Now he's going to slip over to a silenced Silence UMP. Modai is on the low ground. He is on the high ground. He wants to try to make the push. He knows where he is. He's waiting for Ace to try something here. There's the nade. He thinks he's coming uphill. Now he's going to think, maybe I should go back and res my boys. Dropping around for the flank. We're going to stay with him because this move could be X. There it goes. You hear the push coming up. He knows where Ace is. He can hear him now. They can hear each other. Ace is watching. Dice Floppy has the advantage. If someone has to make a move, your friends are dying, boys. There's only so much 1v1 that one can do. He's going to lead with the grenade. Cook, cook, cook. Should have been an underhanded toss. That'll go way too far. Ace now knows that he's being followed. Drops back for some better vision. There's Ace. Finally reveals his position. And Dice potatoes. Unfortunately, Ace gets away. We're going to detach from this so we can watch it from above. Ace has a grenade out. He's in the open. Dice again sees him with the SKS. Lights up. Catches him once, but he goes into cover. Big reload. That gives Ace time to get away. Panda, Ace, Sequins all coming to the high ground. Red has had to fall back. It's still a 4-on-4. Chevalier, Panda. These are the guys who won that last fight too. We saw them handle very quickly, very comfortably on the high ground. This time they've got to push up. Dice Floppy, Drunk, and Kale Pew Pew. They're using some great defilade cover here. Kenturuk is doing the prone, but the grenade hits him. He goes to run. Immediately is caught by Chevalier. And here's the problem is he's going to have a hard time crawling to get to safety. Drunks immediately responds. So I'm going to try to get to him, but that's going to cause some exposure. Dice and Kali Pew Pew trying to keep themselves in a good position here. They got to watch out, though. People coming in from behind. ZQNS looking for whoever's going for the rescue. Chevalier taking the lead here. Dice Floppy shooting as much as he can at him. Ace hasn't been able to move. They need to get Ace up. Uh-oh, here he comes. Callie is going for something bold. He's going for the Pew Pew wraparound. Sneaking out, trying to find his man. Can he find him? So far, no luck. The key to a wraparound, though, is it has to be fast, because right now, all you're doing is putting your team at a fighting disadvantage. Green decides they're not interested in sticking here. They want to make sure they're staying together. They're countering the wraparound by putting an extended flow of their own into a wrap. They know that they got the kill on one, so they're now fighting in a 4v3. Immediately they fall back. Cal is going to be their only chance to get them before they disappear. He's looking in the wrong direction. Now's the run. Nice plays. They've moved forward. Dice Floppy actually gets hit as he comes out to take the shots. They're right on top of each other. They're in the car now, and they're going to try to drive away. They got the peg. Here comes Callie. Can he do the work? Can he do the work? He does the work. He puts it in. He starts to light him up, baby. Is it going to be enough? He's behind the tree. The rocks, he's praying that maybe he gets out of this in one piece. There's a grenade. This is a huge nade if he cooks it right. Callie Pew Pew throws it up. Ezik in the back. Explosion is wrong. Chevalier Panda. They're now stuck in a pit of doom as Drunk Z3 comes forward. He wants to try to get the wrap as well. Ezik is going to push. Callie's stuck. The blue is coming, but they can't stop the fight because of his position. Chevalier Panda, he's going to come up. He has to heal very rapidly. It's going to be a very painful blue. Pew Pew and Ezik still staring at each other. Ace Modal wants to go head-to-head. Dice and Drunks have pulled out. Callie's job was simply to delay their opponents. Ace Modai is now headed. They decide to start the run. They move out. Callie Pew Pew is still stuck in his position. They abandon the car and opt for the sprint. It's not that far right now. Ace Modai trying to get there. Drunk on the chase, and they'll be running parallels. But here comes Callie from behind him. My guess is he's going to go for some kills from the back and allow himself to just go down. He sees them. They don't see him. Callie Pew Pew is on the hunt. Meanwhile, fights blazing everywhere. Looks like they're going to get into the circle here, or at least beat in front of the blue. Potentially. There's Callie. So Callie is going to do some work. And what this is going to do is it's going to eradicate the team, because now they have to catch blue. They can't go back, so Ezik is gone. He's going to try to heal himself very quickly, but they've lost two, and they're unresable until they get inside that blue circle. Chevalier is waiting. Ace is going to heal. He needs ZQNS to cross this blue line. If he doesn't, there's no resing him because the heal doesn't last long enough. ZQNS does manage to cross the line. He's going to get himself up. They smoke for cover. Callie Pew Pew goes down outside the circle. That'll be the end of that fight for the time being. Now we see teams on all sides, everyone pushing in. A lot of conflict has broken out around the map, and it's really reduced a lot of these teams, very few, still sitting on 4 people. Gryffindor and his crew, one of the few remaining with 4. Only 2 kills to their name. They've worked the camp so far. The big one is Ewan Keen, Nuval, and Minimint. These guys have done a very good job of getting kills in this match. They are 3 men left, but they've picked up almost 7 kills between them right now. So these are guys who have been fighting for their position so far. And as fighters, we're going to keep an eye on them as they continue to move forward. Unic and Minimint, they're coming into Swamp. Now, they actually have a little bit of a good position right now for the next 35 seconds, and then they find themselves essentially screwed because of how long the run distance is for them to try and catch. Now, if we're talking about positioning and who has a distinct advantage in this game, it's going to come down to Moffs has one because of the fact that they are in a very good position inside of the circle, and Chevalier Panda and his crew, if they can win the fight here. Dice floppy, there it is. They finish the job and they come out alive. They do take some damage from Gryffindor, but their position is not bad. If they can heal up, they're inside the white circle. They've got Swamp, they've got Defilade cover, but Moffs and Bosswood Liluron are going to be pushing out soon right into them. As is Gryffindor and Tomawok. They're going to come forward. The blue is now providing a lot of protection on their backside, and now he's hit. That's what they're waiting for. Maz has a good position. They've got the cover inside the swamp. They take out a man, and they have a car on the high ground. So when we talk about a strong position for a team right now, we're going to lean towards green. These guys have three guys up. They've got a good position. They've got a car, and they've got a circle, including cover. That said, they also have opponents staring right at them in the form of Ace and Zequin. ZQNS and Ace are both very good shots. They've proven that in this game so far. So they will stare at each other. All teams will wait for the next circle, and it's going to be a long one, forcing all of these teams to move. Ace decides he's going to go for the push, so he's going to lean into it. Sometimes when you have to move, the only option you have is push, kill, and fly, and hope to get yourself inside the circle. Best Wasp backs up, puts his butt in the air, and gets rocked down. But immediately Ace on the return, he has to drop back and heal himself. So meanwhile, we'll jump to ZQNS and see if he can get a pick. Oh, he is hit again, and that is just a huge kudos to Lolaron, who's hiding here in the bushes and has been able to pop them every time they stick their heads out. His UMP is just fire right now. Now he's going to drop back. They've lost their friend. They could not res one in time, so they are at 3. ZQNS gets a vision, starts to take some shots, but immediately takes fire back from Lolaron. 42 seconds left. They have to resolve this fight ASAP and withdraw themselves, extricate themselves from this situation. It looks like Lolaron has decided to cut his losses and get him and Moffs out. No, Moff going for the wraparound. He's almost in position, but Ace might see him. There he is. Now he knows where Ace is. Ace is coming out. He finishes one. Ace is peeking. He decides not to keep the push, smartly moves around, and Ace takes fire from the opposite side. He doesn't know where to cover up. He's being hit from every single angle. Moffs is pushing. This could be the final blow for Ace. Ace trying to heal himself as he's on his side. It's not going to happen. Boom. Easy kill, but they're at 3 seconds to the blue. They've got to run for the car or sprint for home because that thing is going to hurt. Meanwhile, let's jump in with some really good positioning here. We've got Team Prone as the Slytherin get inside the circle with very little risk. Coca-Cola and Fucker going to come right here at Sykes. Sykes going to have the vision on him if he turns to the left. If he doesn't, Ruh-roh, Sykes. Somebody look at these guys. They know they're there. They spotted them first. They're pushing with the blue. They don't expect them behind him. Here he comes. He's waiting for his chance to make a move. The other side, Tomawok got the Tama shot. Sykes drops back to blue. They don't even have to fire a shot. They're just letting him get eradicated by other teams. They're inside the blue circle. They know where the next one's going. They got 1:20 to advance. Sykes just lying there trying to get a shot. X-Looker doesn't know that he's there. So Sykes and X-Looker playing a very interesting game side by side here. I mean, Tomawok, VeryBadBunny, and Gryffondor, vdaylight, using the Defilades, but don't know that they're going up against a weird 3v2, v1, as Lularon, also the last man standing down here at the Shit Shack. So this is the layout of the final circle right now. 8 alive. Gryffindor and the green team decide to split, which will expose them potentially. Sykes is going to run into Mr. Coca-Cola here pretty soon as Sykes does his run. He's going to go for cover. Now he sees Sykes. Lights up Sykes. Sykes will go down, but Coca-Cola is now going to try to heal himself, taking some serious damage. VeryBadBunny goes ahead and kills Sykes. Sykes will Sykes went down. X-Looker and Coca-Cola taking damage from Bunny. Meanwhile, Gryffindor are going after Lolaron. Looker and Coca-Cola fighting back and forth. Cooker trying to find himself the shot that he wants right now. Lularon still up and running. There he goes. He sees the peak. He's going to go for it. He has to go for it. Grenades aplenty. They know where the duo is. They don't know where Lularon is. So Lularon, in theory, could go pretty deep. If he popped out, he might actually get some kills here. Vday. They're looking to try and nade him down here. VeryBadBunny is going to be our pusher. Drawing a little bit of fire. Here they come. They know they're coming out to the blue. And they immediately tear him down. Now, they know one man must remain. The question is where? Lularon's got to come out. He's running right now. Griffondor finally sees the smokes. He knows he's around here somewhere. Very presumably will be the one to find him. And we'll pan up. It might be VeryBadBunny. VeryBadBunny peeking forward. Everyone coming up. Vdaylight tosses a grenade. He knows exactly where the guy's got to be. Here they go. He's exposed himself. Everyone's going to open up. And Lularon puts up a noble effort, but it will not be enough. VeryBadBunny plays the push card and finishes the game. And that's what all they wrote. VeryBadBunny and his crew go 4. Tomawok, VeryBad, vdaylight, and Griffondor finished with 7, 8, 9, 10 kills to their name on a very strong game. So that's the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The big scorers there. Then over on the right, you can see 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We'll pan down real quick for the scorekeepers to see 12 through 17. Followed by 18 through 20. Very full game today. Lots of kills, lots of points, lots of fun. Guys, that was a very good match. I'll let you know the team names. Obviously, we can't see the team names on the overlays just yet, the way that they are designed. But I can assure you of this. We will let you know as soon as I get the scoring in. So it looks like we'll close out the lobby here in just a second and get over to our next match. But that was a lot of fun. A really great, honestly, one of my favorite spots on the map for a final circle. Lots of cover points. The swamp is an incredibly strategic area that is often underutilized in a lot of games because of its location, but creates a fun outdoor fight. It's not one of those where you're just sitting in a wooded area or a wheat field and everybody's sort of proning around. There's lots of defilade, lots of cover, lots of places for quality push. I think that they did that very well when we watched this game. So kudos to those players. If you're jumping into the stream, great job. And a big shout out to Tomawok, VeryBadBunny, Griffondor, and vdaylight for finishing so strong in the back end there. Lularon used the camp shack to hide out and get the second place finish. And Lucker, Coca-Cola, and Sargento, they did a good job of pushing, but just couldn't fight the 4-on-2 there at the very end. All right, let's exit out of this one and get the next one up and running. Guys, welcome back. That was a great match. Very excited to have cast it. We got 2 more coming today, so don't go anywhere, as we're going to get the next lobby up and running here just in a minute or two. My name's Toffees. You can find me at Toffees TV if you like the cast. I encourage you to do so. I very much would appreciate it. And of course, if you like the tournament you want to play, you can go to AUZOM.gg. Follow us on Twitter or on the website to sign up for playtests in future weeks. Also, if this is something, this is right now a European playtest we do on Sunday afternoons. If you're interested in seeing this in your region, tweet at AUZOM.gg and let them know, hey, I want to do this. I'll sign up every week. I got a squad ready to go. That said, I'm going to get the next game up and running. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with round 2 of the AUZOM playtest.